Sutta Nipata is one of the oldest, it's one of the books in Khuddaka Nikaya. Buddha's teaching under the discourses are compiled into 5 books, 5 collections. One of them is Khuddaka Nikaya. And this is one of the books in there. Mention 4 preconditions for entering the stream. Number 1, association with Aryas. The word is actually Arya. Number 2, I'll give you all 4 first, then you can take it here. Number 2, listening to the true Dhamma. Number 3, proper attention, yoniso manasikara. And number 4, practice in accordance with the Dhamma. Let me explain what they mean. Essentially, what is said here is actually 2 parts. One, when we say association with superior people or with the Aryas, it means coming into contact with the Sangha. The idea here, remember Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha cannot come into contact with Buddha. Not possible. So therefore, must be Dhamma and Sangha. Just remember that. So the first one is having this close association with Sangha. Okay? And then 2 and 3 and 4 are about Dhamma. Listening to the true Dhamma implies that you have access. You are able to, you have that blessings, the luck, whatever you call it, the good fortune, to come into contact with true Dhamma. The word here is true Dhamma. The correct teaching. The Buddha's original teaching. The correct teaching. But having that teaching and being associating with the real practitioners, not enough. Why is that? Because ultimately it's a personal journey. You need to see the Dhamma for yourself. You must want to do it, you must want to see it, and you have done the necessary and you see it. So you want to see it is practice in accordance with Dhamma. Your practicing must mean that you want to. If you have no particular preference while you're practicing, it's not exactly easy then. It requires self-restraint, it requires effort, and in the process, it's also very dukkha. For those of you who have gone on retreat, the first day, macam like hell. Then if you are one of those who have been indulging left, right, center type, second, third day also like hell. You see what I'm saying? So, to want to practice, first you got to come into contact with the true Dhamma. And then you want to practice, so practice in accordance with that Dhamma. Therefore, when we talk about Dhamma, there are different parts. There is what it is, what must be done, and doing it. There are 3 parts to it. Proper attention is the actual practice itself. You looking at your mind carefully, paying attention to how the mind works. So what it means, you put the 4 together, it means I have learned from the correct people. They have taught me the correct message. I am now practicing according to that message, and I'm doing it right. Doing it right. Put the 4 together, this means got chance. Without these 4, no chance. Okay? When does it happen? When does it happen? Okay? Buddha said 5 ways. 5 ways that it could happen. When it happens, basically, when it happens, what were you doing? Okay, 5 ways. Number 1, while you were sitting down there, quiet, listening to a teacher, because he was talking to the bhikkhus, therefore a fellow practitioner, a fellow monk, okay? While listening, in other words, when you are listening. Number 2, you yourself are giving the Dhamma talk. When you are talking and explaining, you got it. Eureka moment happen when you're talking. Okay? Number 3, you see, in the old days, they will recite. Because everything is memory work, ma. In the old days, everything is memory work. Therefore, they were reciting. Today, some of us still reciting, which is fine. But the main thing is not just reciting Dhamma. The main thing is in detail as he has learnt it or mastered it. As you had learnt it. That you understand. Number 4, you learn Dhamma, right? Now in your daily life, you reflect on Dhamma. As you are walking, as you are sitting, doing your daily rituals, activities, you ponder, you examine, you investigate Dhamma. So you think, reflect on the knowledge that you have picked up. Okay? And number 5, learns well a certain object of concentration, attends to it well, sustains it well, penetrates it thoroughly. This, number 5, is meditation. You have an object of meditation, you spend your time looking at the object, holding it clearly in your mind, and at some point you realized it, you understood that object. How does it work? I give you breathing. You look at breathing, you look at breathing, you look at breathing, you look at breathing. Suddenly it strikes you, it's impermanent. It keeps changing. And it's not driven by anything. It has a mechanism going on by itself. Anatta became obvious. You see what I'm saying? So this, when the concentration is only one of 5 possible point when you realize, okay? Remember this. 1, when you are listening to the Dhamma talk. 2, when you are giving the Dhamma talk. 3, when you are reciting a teaching of the Buddha. Therefore, under 3, you recite in Pali, I guarantee you can't realize. Except for some of you who are Pali scholars. The rest of you, when you recite in Pali, you cannot realize. Because you're supposed to understand what you are saying. Okay? Number 4, this means you have already accumulated knowledge, Dhamma concepts, Dhamma understanding. You have already accumulated. It is now part of the reservoir of information in here. And then as you go through life, maybe you're pouring coffee in espresso. Impermanent. As you are observing a feature, then suddenly Dhamma dawns on you. Yours, number 4. Okay? And then the meditation. Now that doesn't mean you don't meditate because you know 1 or 5, because you still need the sati samadhi to keep the mind quiet. And therefore in daily life, it is possible for you to ponder, examine, and investigate. You don't have sati samadhi, you ponder, examine, investigate, and think a lot. Get it? Not same, okay? Up to this point, any question? The preconditions that must be put in place. The preconditions that must be put in place, the 4 of them, when it can happen, and now what gets you through, okay? It's either through saddha or through panya. This is what it means. That which tilts you across is either through saddha or through panya. Don't click yet, plenty more to go. I will give you the whole lot, okay? Buddha said, the eye is impermanent, changing, becoming over, otherwise, so too the ear, the nose, the tongue, and so on. One who places faith, resolves is to want to follow, resolves on them, is called a faith follower. Meaning to say, the manner in which you understand the Dhamma, at this point, you just got it, is because your faith in the Buddha was so strong. You hear it from him, you got it. Straight away, this idea of the I, the E-Y-E, that I, the nose, being an impermanent features of the mind, experiences that floats in, drifts off, goes in and out, again and again and again. Impermanence is a feature of the mind. Because you hear the Buddha say it, because you read it, you hear it, that's it. For you, you understood straight away impermanence. And when you have understood it to a certain degree that you just embrace the teaching wholeheartedly, fully, you have entered the stream. Can be done. So in the Buddha's time, there were many who entered through Saddha. They sat, they listened, the heart lifts, just listening to him, the heart lifts. They are so joyous, the mind clears. They see the Dhamma. Impermanence is not a concept anymore. It is an experience. Just by listening to him, they got it. They got the part about it being an experience, is impermanent, and they got the part that all these impermanence means there is no essence. You only need to drop Sakaya Ditti, right? The sense of the I. And Vichikicha, I have absolutely no doubt he is right. The joy is so extreme, the guy just get through. So that's faith. And the Buddha said, he will not do any action that will cause him to be reborn in hell, animal, or the domain of the ghost. He is not capable of passing away without having realized the fruit of stream entry. Entry, this thing about the different levels of understanding, Dhamma understanding, that 4 levels I was talking about earlier, has 2 parts to it. There is the path and there is the fruit. The path is the knowledge on how it is done. The fruit is the experience of what it feels like with that realization. That's the 2 parts, okay? Now, this is entering through faith. Read it, hear it from the Buddha. Sorry, not read it. In the time of the Buddha, they heard it from the Buddha. Just when the Buddha talks about the I is impermanent and all those things, they got it, got through, just like that. One for whom these teachings are accepted after being pondered to a sufficient degree with wisdom is called a Dhamma follower. So the second way in which you enter is through panya, understanding. You reflect on the teaching. After a while, you understand what it means. And then your holding on to that I, that mind, that self, drops. It doesn't work like that anymore. You know it, you realized it, you're through. Okay? Same thing. So this came from Okkantika Samyutta 25:1. Okay. I love this picture, isn't it? Maybe you should shift Buddha a bit to the side. Okay, next. Now, even. This is the part, it's good to know, but the next part is what brings joy. Even if one is not a Sotapanna, one can still be assured of a better rebirth if one possesses the following qualities. When a person's mind has been fortified for a long time by Saddha, Virya, learning is Sikha, I think. Generosity, dana, and panya. Goes upwards, goes to distinction. He was talking to his cousin. Mahanama was his cousin. Do not be afraid, your death will not be a bad one. In other words, if you are a student of the Buddha, you are his disciple, you spend this life understanding more, having that faith, doing the right thing, learning, giving, and that should keep you well. That's all. Because you have these qualities in the mind. What it means is this. We are talking about truly developing these qualities. You have faith, you have virtue is your sila, morality. Learning is trying to build understanding of Dhamma. This is not learning called economics, science, technology. It is not that learning. It doesn't mean you got PhD, going upstairs. No. This learning has to do with Dhamma learning. So it's Dhamma learning, giving. These qualities, if you develop these qualities, your mind is light. Your mind is giving, your mind is light. When you're on your deathbed, the mind stays light. It should lift. If you say, I am a Buddhist, and you don't have any of these qualities other than faith in your definition, then all bets are off. We take back the guarantee. Okay? It's when you have it correct, then you're fine. And a lot of you here should be fine. Okay? Buddha went on to say, you can have an individual who's not a Sotapanna. This means the expression here does not confirm confidence. It's saddha. This is the enlightenment factor of saddha. So this person doesn't have the kind of saddha. Okay? He is not of joyous wisdom. No panya. Not happy when you hear. Not quick, sharp. So you have not attained liberation. You're not Sotapanna. But he has 5 things. Okay? He has... What are these? What I have been saying we have to cultivate. He has all these 5 things. And you have the teachings accepted after you have pondered to a sufficient degree with wisdom. You have accepted his Dhamma, but you haven't seen it. You're not Sotapanna, you haven't quite seen it, but you believe in it. You have thought about it, you accept it, you believe in it. You also will not end up in hell. As an animal, in the domain of the ghost, etc., you wouldn't go wrong. Why is that so? If truly, again, truly you develop faith and as viriya, sati, samadhi, and panya. Truly you develop according to the Buddha's definition. Not sure, check back previous notes. If you develop according to the Buddha's teaching, your mind will stay light. It will stay light, it will stay soft. When the time comes to exchange the form, cannot go so wrong. Okay, so no scared. No scared. This is according to panya. So you say, but I'm not very panya, never mind, someone got this one. This one not very panya one, also can. Look at this. What did the Buddha say? Sufficient faith. You don't have confirmed faith. You have sufficient. Cukup. Also can. Nice? Not so bad, Okay. And this came from what sutta? In case you think I made it up. Sarakani, Samyutta Nikaya. Okay, Buddha said, even if these trees could understand what I'm saying, I also declare they are stream winners. Meaning, tree is what? In Malay? Bokok. Okay, obviously I don't know. I want to say batu, which is stone. Okay, never mind. Wood, okay? Kayu, betul, so difficult. Kayu, alright. If the trees could understand, I also declare they're stream winners. This is where it came from, okay? Okay, finally. Actually, we don't have to come back around another round. See, we're going into will we know for ourselves, okay? Buddha gave a checklist. We all love checklists, don't we? Now, cannot cheat. The checklist is for you to review for yourself. You're not reviewing for others. You're reviewing for yourself. So this is a checklist for you to review. It comes from Kosambiya Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 48. Number 1. It is knowledge. You know for yourself that there is no nivaranas. What's nivaranas? Hindrances. You know, if nothing else, you walk out of here with Pali knowledge. Nivaranas, unabandoned in myself, that might so obsess my mind that I cannot know and see things as they actually are. Let me just explain this carefully. It doesn't mean you don't have. Read the words carefully. It means you know whatever is there are not strong enough to cloud the mind that you can't see things as they actually are. And you know it. The emphasis here, you know your mind. Know for yourself the state of your mind. It goes down to knowing that the mind is ready to see Dhamma. They're not the same. Knowing what's going on in the mind is one thing. Realizing, when you're looking at your mind, you realize that this state is just about right. I'm just waiting for my understanding of Dhamma to arise. Knowing that state of mind is important. You understand? No need to repeat. A very important part of the practice is having the clarity of state of mind. You know what's in your mind, and you know what's going on, and you know for yourself what is there, enough or not to see. You know that. Clearly understands the importance of a clean mental space for practice and why. Meaning you know that it is important that the mind is clean, pure. You know why it has to be like that? How it is like that? And when it is like that. You know that's panya. Okay? So the first one, whether or not you have entered that stream, you therefore must know all aspects of what's going on in the mind. You know what's required. You know when you have the conditions in place. You know you're just waiting for the knowledge, the realization to arise. If you don't know what's going on in your mind, you don't know what's needed, you don't know anything, you know you're in the moment. That's not it. Okay? That you're in the moment, it's not it. After you realize really in the moment is it. Not the same. Okay? Number 2. That was 1. Got 7. Number 2. when I pursue, when I pursue, develop, and cultivate this view, I obtain internal serenity, I obtain stillness. What view? Refer to point 1. Okay? Meaning to say, you know for yourself, my mind is clean. I know for myself, my mind is clean, and I know for myself that even if I have negativities, they are not so strong that will make it impossible for me to see things as they are. I know that. Knowing that makes me happy, keeps me serene. I know it, I'm happy. He goes into a state of stillness, and he knows it. He knows how to arrive at the state of stillness. So there are these two, Buddha said, understands. Know what's going on there? Know when the mind is quiet? Know that this is enough. I can get it. Okay? Number 3. Understand thus. There is no other recluse or Brahmin outside who possess the view such as I possess. Let me explain this before you all go, chauvinism. I read your mind, You see, I'll just give you all of it. You see, to get to a state where you see anatta, to get to a state where anicca is, I already said, anicca is not difficult, dukkha is not difficult. But to get to a state to see anatta, to accept anatta, is very difficult. In order to even get there, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of cultivation, with the correct teaching and understanding. So you know it when other teachings don't have the same emphasis and don't have the same results. That's all. Nibbana. You see what I'm saying? It merely means you realize that the teaching is unique. That's all. It doesn't mean you say I'm better than you. It merely means the realization that what you are going through, what you are experiencing is unique. It is just not talk about outside of this school. That's all. And then you may, at that point, realize that you were lucky. At least there is this version that you can accept, and you practice from there. Okay? So 3, dealing with knowledge. It's only when you begin to see the Dhamma, it's only when you begin to see and realize the Dhamma that this 3rd point arises. If you haven't seen the Dhamma, you don't know what the Dhamma is, you wouldn't say other people didn't teach, or other schools don't have this, or other philosophies doesn't talk about this. You don't realize it. But when you begin to see the Dhamma, you realize how different the teaching is. Okay? Oh, sorry. This is misclick. 3 of which deals with you knowing what's in your mind. What state it is in, what level of understanding you have, what's going on. The next one deals with being honest about yourself. This is about conduct. You say you realize, you say you understand. Has it translated into the way you behave? Look at what it said here. He may commit some offense for which a means of rehabilitation has been laid down. Still, he at once confesses, reveals, discloses to the teacher or to the wise companions, and having done that, enters upon restraint for the future. Meaning to say, you can make mistakes, but you will go tell people, sorry, I did this. then you don't do it again. Don't do it. Enter upon restraint. Not, sorry, they go do. Then, sorry, go do. Sorry. You made a mistake because we are human. Human, possible to make mistakes. Then you feel bad about it, and then you say, I'm going to change, I'm going to do it differently, and I won't do it again. And then you don't do it again. You try to. And you ask yourself, are you like that? Okay? Do I possess the character of a person who possesses the right view? You have that understanding. Do you then behave like one who has that understanding? So in the Dhamma, it is not just knowledge, it is knowledge and conduct. Therefore, the chanting, Vidya Charana. Vidya is knowledge, Charana, conduct. Okay? Next, number 5. Do I possess the character of a person who possesses the right view? Now, you say you understand, okay? Do you try to aspire to practice further? If you say you understand, then you say, okay, next life continue. Where's your understanding? Why is that so? What is this understanding about? This understanding is about dukkha, right? You know dukkha, very painful, it's embedded in existence. And you know dukkha is because you crave, all this craving. You say you understand the correlation, but yet you continue to build that craving. Craving, chiong a bit faster, chiong a bit harder. Then there is no moderation. Where's the understanding? What is the understanding? So in this world, they are saying that if I really possess the understanding, then I will keep trying. I will try to understand a bit more, try a bit harder, work a bit better, and so on. Baby steps, you keep pushing. In baby steps, you keep pushing, you don't let go. Keen regard for training in the higher state, training in the higher mind, training in the higher wisdom. You continue. Sotapanna, notwithstanding, you push on to the next level. The more mature you are in your understanding, the more you want to continue. Okay? 6. The strength of the person who possesses the right view. Right view, again, all this is about realization. Okay? Give you all of it. If you are in that stream, you hear the Dhamma and you will just pay attention. You will mull over it, you will welcome it. It gives you a lot of joy. If you're in that stream, anything to do with Dhamma, you feel a lot of joy. Because it syncs now with your mind. If you have that joy, you will work in the practice. The strength is one who will push ahead with this practice. Okay? And finally, wait, let me just give you this. Finally, when you hear the Dhamma, Vinaya, you are inspired, you are happy, there's this connection with the Dhamma, you want to keep going. So, knowledge, conduct, taste, realization. They feed each other. Okay? So the individual must know for himself the following. What is your understanding of Dhamma? When we talk about 5 aggregates, by clinging, your mind should abide contemplating the rise and fall. You see things as they are. They come up, they fade away. When he abides contemplating rise and fall, affected by clinging, the I conceit, based on the 5 aggregates, is dropped. I'm repeating this. When that is so, the practitioner understands the conceit I am based on these 5 aggregates, affected by clinging, is abandoned. He has full awareness. All these I have been saying again and again. This is from the Mahasunyata Sutta. You know the arising and the fading away of each sensations as they surface in the mind. In each of them, you see for yourself the I is missing. You dropped it. And you keep doing that. And you know, full awareness, you know as they happen. I'll give you another lot. So your understanding of Dhamma is about knowing the I is missing, anatta. Knowing anicca, impermanence. When you perceive impermanence, the perception of non-self stabilizes. One who perceives non-self eradicates the conceit I am, which is Nibbana in this very life. Now I ask you, do they make sense? Well done. They are about understanding the path. They're not conceptual. They are experiential. So now that you understand, right? Do you have Vicikiccha? Do you know the Dhamma now? Do you know what Sakkaya Ditthi? What do I see of the I? What do you see of Atta? How does your mind see the world? This understanding of Dhamma boils down to this. That's all it is. This is good. Okay? Up to this point, there are many more questions to go. Up to this point, this is about understanding. This is about knowing what the Buddha taught. You're good? Okay? Now that you understand the Dhamma, now that you have seen the Dhamma, okay, how has it changed your character? How does it affect your conduct? How does it change your personality? Ooh, I didn't know there were so many. The understanding of the Dhamma has to have an impact on how you behave. And I've said this before. If only you say you have changed, you have not lah. The world must see a change in you. Well, of course, you must also know that you have changed. You must know, because you are making restraints and you understand the reason for your restraints and you're doing all kinds of things, okay? So you must know you're changing. But if, as I said, only you know, no one else agrees with you, then what it means is your change not kilat yet. It either means that or you think you changed, but that's about it. It's a delusion. More moha. Okay? So this part, you need to be aware. Increase your own self-awareness. And if you're lucky, you have a Kalyana Mitta. Your Kalyana Mitta may be willing to be honest with you. So tell you, you think you changed? No, right? Yeah, your Kalyana Mitta must be willing to be honest with you. But it better be a Kalyana Mitta lah. If it's not a Kalyana Mitta, they got a problem, okay? What I said earlier on about the 7 reviewing knowledge, 2 of them are about conduct. Huh? Okay. Have I experienced some degree of nirodha, the joy of letting go, the insight of the path? You see, if you start to change, part of the thing that keeps you going, right, is the sense of joy that comes on spontaneously for you when you start to let go, start to moderate, start not to have so much wantings and all. It will happen. If you say, no, I try to let go, but still not quite it, maybe the letting go got a problem. Not quite it. It's not quite the correct way of letting it go. And if you're doing it correctly, your faith in the Triple Gem will increase. Only you know. So the feeling of the joy, the feeling of the peace, only you know. The understanding of the practice, only you know. Your faith, what does your faith sit on? Only you know, okay? Faith must be anchored on experience. Is my restraint anchored on knowledge and understanding? Because only when it is, then it is steady and not a mindless application of the rules. This is about morality. For many of us, when we set out, we learn about the precepts, yes? For those of you who haven't learned precept, go learn, okay? We learn about precepts. And for many of us, in our understanding of the precepts, it's very much structured. Must do this, must do that. Cannot do this, cannot do that. All very structured. The day that you begin to understand Dhamma, you begin to understand why the precepts are like this. You begin to understand. So now, you don't have to worry about the correct way of dealing with the precept. You're not asking about that. You are at a level where the precepts is second nature. If you say, I don't want to hurt, I just don't want to hurt any being. When you say that, that's a very high bar, not hurting beings. You don't even scold. You don't even say things that hurt deliberately. Because sometimes people are very sensitive. So you don't deliberately hurt people, okay? And why are you doing that? Because you don't want to hurt. You just don't want to do it. Has it got to do anything to do with the precepts? No. Precepts are not there. So when you begin to understand the Dhamma more and more, your giving purer, your restraints purer. Very high bar you will go for, okay? Why do I always one step ahead one? You know lah, I explained already. Last one. What ultimately, you know for yourself whether the path is a series of steps or a way of life. What's the difference? Series of steps is you try, you see, you note, you adjust. Every baby steps you take, you ask yourself, correct or not? A way of life the Dhamma is internalized. You don't go around asking, correct or not? Okay, I say like this, correct or not? Who's going to answer you? Who can answer you? Because the fellow is as blurred as you are, ma. Okay, finally, last part, Sangha. Why wait until now then talk about Sangha? You look at the traditional way in which we pay our respect to Sangha. The order of the Blessed One is practicing well. Supatipanno, is of upright conduct, has entered the right path, is practicing correctly. The traditional way in which we say, I pay my respect to the Sangha. Who are the Sangha members? They are the practitioners, number one. Practitioners who are practicing correctly and minimally has seen, entered the right path. Practicing correctly because they understood correctly and they have entered the right path. Buddha said, the 4 pairs of persons, the 8 kinds of individuals. Buddha's original definition was therefore the Arya Sangha. Okay, When you you bring it down. Otherwise, I'll just wait for you. So you're the reason why everyone is waiting, okay? So what's the Buddha's definition? Practice. On practice. On conduct. On wisdom. They are committed, dedicated, focused, determined practitioner. Well practice. Correct practice. As in practice according to the Eightfold Path. Meaning the factors of enlightenment. Okay? They are good people. Honest and morally upright. Entered the right path, they know the way, they have the knowledge and the intuitive wisdom, they know what's right, wrong practice. They realize Nibbana at various stages. Okay? That was the Buddha's definition of what's the Sangha. And why is this important? Because it's these individuals who are a source of inspiration for others. They are the living proof that the path works. The method delivers results. It will lead one to a state of mind where the mind doesn't experience dukkha anymore. So that's one. Proof that the method works. Number two, can you teach if you don't know what you're teaching? Can or not? Those of you who are teachers, professional trainers, professional teachers, can you teach if you don't know what you're teaching? These guys, these Sangha members, they are vital for keeping the Dhamma alive because only they know how it's done. And therefore, they can only help guide another. Okay? For the rest of us, we just try our best. When we get it, we'll do our part to preserve the Dhamma. Okay? And that's it.